Hello, it is Olga from Holistic Healing Therapy, and this is video 2 from the video series How to Cleanse and Take Care of Your Crystals. Even though I would recommend to use all 4 elements to cleanse your crystals, i.e. water, air, earth and fire, and also if possible sound and essences, in this video I'll talk about how to cleanse your crystal using the element of earth. And I also always think that it's a good idea to use natural representations of the elements. So in this video for the earth element I would use salt. In this video I'll talk about 2 topics. So the first topic would be why cleanse your crystals with the earth element and salt. And the second topic would be the 2 methods that I think are good to use at home for cleansing your crystals with salt. So let's begin. So I will talk now about why it's a good idea to cleanse your crystals with the earth element and salt. And first I will talk about why I think it's a good idea to cleanse your crystals using the earth element. So my belief in cleansing crystals is based on the ancient Greek belief, which originated 450 BC. And it says that everything, you, me, the crystals, consists of 4 elements of fire, water, air and earth. So by this tradition, the earth is a very important element in all of the beings and all of the things. So the idea behind it is if we cleanse all the crystals using all of these elements, including the earth element, then the cleansing goes deeper and is more profound, as I think. And also I looked at the James E. Brady study, which I'll post the link to below. And in it I found that the ancient minds thought that the powers of the crystals are derived directly from the powers of earth. And also many people believe that the ancient minds thought that the crystals are the crystallized consciousness of earth. And I think that makes us think that the crystals and the elements of earth in the crystals are very important. So that's why I think it's very important to cleanse your crystals using the element of earth. Now I'll talk about why I think it's important to use salt as the earth element in cleansing crystals. So I found lots of reference to the salt's cleansing powers and purifying qualities in scripture. In scripture I read about water being purified and healed when salt was put into it, and also in Judaism tradition. So in Judaism tradition the newborns were cleansed with salt, and I can put the link to those research elements below. And also did you know that the Russians greet the guests with bread and salt? And bread being the symbol of hospitality and salt being the symbol of purity, and it also scares off the evil spirits. And if you want to learn more about the salt's cleansing properties and also why Russians throw the salt 3 times over their left shoulder, you are welcome to watch my video Salt and its Cleansing Properties. So that's why I think that salt is a very cleansing substance, and that's a good idea to use it in your cleansing and cleansing your crystals. So now that we talk about why it's a good idea to use the earth element of salt in cleansing your crystals, we will move on to the methods of cleansing your crystals using salt. So I will now talk about the 2 methods which I use for cleansing the crystals. So the first method is for the hard crystals only, because it uses water and salt, and it involves putting your crystal directly into the water-salt solution, which potentially could damage soft crystals like amber and moldavite and probably jeweler as well. So I use this method only for the hard crystals. So what would you need for this cleansing method? You would need a bowl or any kind of vessel that would contain your crystal, water, which is now inside the vessel, the bowl. Then you would need the salt, and any kind of salt would do. Now I have the sea salt, but I would say even the cheapest salt would do, so don't worry about the quality of it. And here is the crystal, and this is the rock crystal, the hard rock crystal. So what I would do, I would put the water into the bowl, then I will put just a bit of salt in it. It doesn't have to be much salt. Yep, you can even try to work on it so that it dissolves properly. And then I'll soak the crystal completely in the water. The important bit is that the crystal is completely soaked in the water, and you leave the crystal in the water for about 24 hours, I would recommend, but if you don't have much time, 12 hours is enough, though I would recommend 24-hour cleansing. This method is, as I said before, is really good for hard crystals, and it's also good because it's easy and it combines elements of earth and water in your cleansing, so you don't have to use another method to cleanse your crystals with water later. And also I think it's quite easy because you can cleanse lots of crystals at once. You could fill your bathtub with water, put salt into it and put lots of crystals in. So it's very easy and a very good way to cleanse lots of crystals at once. Though, as I said before, the only downturn of this method is that you can't use it for soft crystals. So method 2, which I'll show you now, I think is a better way to cleanse your soft crystals. So let's move on. So moving to the second method for cleansing your crystals with the earth element, here represented by salt. And this method is used for the soft crystals such as moldavite or amber, calcite, also some delicate things like jewelry, anything that salt, the direct contact with salt might possibly damage. So for this method you would need the bowl, lots of salt, any kind of salt would do, shot glass, and of course your crystal or your jewelry. And it's a good idea to wash your crystal beforehand, just in running water to get any kind of dirt off. So after you've done this, you put the jewelry or the crystal into the shot glass, and then put it inside the bowl. And I already filled my bowl with salt, and I hope you can see. The idea is, once you put the shot glass into the bowl, you fill the bowl with the salt to level up with the crystal in the shot glass, as you can see here. So the idea is that the crystal would be in the shot glass would be completely covered with the salt outside, so it will not come in the direct contact with salt, though it would be surrounded with salt. So you kind of build kind of a castle walls around the shot glass, your crystal, so that the salt actually surrounds your crystal but doesn't touch it directly. And make sure that salt doesn't actually get inside the shot glass, because it can possibly damage some soft crystals like moldavite. And so after I've done this, I would leave it to cleanse for 24 hours. But if you're really running low on time, 12 hours at least. And this method is good, as I said before, for delicate things. So unlike in method 1, you will not damage your jewelry or your crystals with a salt water solution, because the jewelry doesn't get in the direct contact with salt. But the downside, of course, is that you'll have to use lots of salt. And also another thing is that while in method 1 you could use 2 elements at once, water and salt, in this case you can only use salt, and then you'll have to cleanse your element with your crystal with the water element if you want to do the overall cleansing with 4 elements. So that's the second method. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any thoughts or comments on the video, please leave them below. And if you're interested in other methods how to cleanse your crystals, please watch my other videos from the series How to Cleanse and Take Care of Your Crystals. And please, if you know any other methods how to cleanse your crystals using the earth element of salt, share below. Thank you very much. Toodles!